So Michigan State head basketball coach Tom Izzo was seen yelling at one of his athletes, one of his basketball players at the NCAA tournament. He was yelling at Aaron Henry. And Twitter took this and ran with it. They freaked out. Everybody on Twitter went, "Oh my gosh, it's the worst thing ever." And you know, this is part of why I'm not on Twitter, is all the extreme overreactions. One of the ones I saw was something that said something along the lines of, "I can't wait till this generation of coaches moves on and retires and nobody yells at their players ever again." Yikes. I don't think that's a really good opinion at all. I play college football. I'm a college athlete. I play quarterback in college. I've been an athlete my entire life. I've been yelled at a lot. Sometimes I was okay with it. Sometimes I've not been okay with it. And here's the difference. Here's what makes it okay and what makes it not okay. When I was younger, I was way more immature, by the way. When I was a senior in high school, I was an immature, dumb kid. But I had a new quarterback coach, and he would rail into me. I got a new coach. It was our first time working together. He would yell at me and scream at me, and I did not like it. Honestly, I felt like we didn't have a good enough relationship where he could do that to me yet, right? It was our first time working together, and it made me really angry. I didn't handle it well. And what I didn't see at the time when he was yelling at me was that where he was coming from, that he cared about me. What I didn't understand that, we didn't have a good enough rapport yet where he could do that, and I didn't think he hated me or something. He had high expectations of me, though. He didn't hate me. He cared about me. I know that now. He sends me messages. We're good friends. The guy loved me as a quarterback. He had high expectations. I was my school's all-time leading passer. Of course, he's going to demand a lot of good stuff from me. Now I'm in college. I play quarterback in college, and I'm really, really close with my quarterback coach. He's a great guy. I love and respect him. He can yell at me any day he wants. My quarterback coach in college, I'm free for him to yell at me anytime he wants. Everyone's judging Tom Izzo for yelling at his player, and you don't know the relationship. You're not Aaron Henry, and you're not Tom Izzo. When my coach yells at me, I know where it comes from. I know it comes from a place of love. My coach believes in me. My coach has high expectations for me. He's holding me to a high standard. A buddy of mine got married recently. A buddy of mine is married. I was talking to him recently. He's been married for over 20 years. He came over to our house last night. His wife went on a 3-week trip, and people around him at the gym were all concerned. People at the gym were like, "Oh no, don't you realize that's how divorces happen? You can't let her go on a vacation by herself." And my buddy who's married, he's been married for over 20 years, was like, "No offense, but you don't know anything about my relationship." He said, "My marriage is great. She wanted to go on a trip, and we live our own lives. It's all good. Everything's happy." And the point is this: if you're not in a relationship, how can you speak to it if you don't know anything about it? You don't know the relationship between Tom Izzo, his players, and his coaches. And you got to be very, very careful when you're speaking into a relationship that you don't know and that you're not in. The Michigan State basketball players did not seem fazed by Tom Izzo yelling at his players. In fact, some of the players have defended their coach. And so I don't think this story is about yelling. At the end of the day, the question becomes, does Tom Izzo care about his players? Yeah. It seems like Tom Izzo likes and really cares about his players. And at the end of the day, does it seem like his players like and care about him? Yeah, again, I would say yes. And so Tom Izzo seems like a good guy, and it seems like people are making a really big stink out of a whole lot of nothing. If you have never been yelled at, I don't know. You don't have to yell at a player to get their attention and to hold them to a standard. But if that's your style and it works, you have good rapport with your players, and it doesn't damage your relationship, like if you've earned the right to yell at your guys and they know where you're coming from, there's no problem with yelling. And you can't make a golden rule that says you can't do this, because everyone has their own style and you have to judge everybody individually. And in this instance, when I look at Tom Izzo yelling at his player, was he angry? Was he probably way too angry? Yes. Did it seem to damage their team? No. They made it to the Sweet 16. They're fine. And so I really think people overreacted to this story of Tom Izzo yelling. I don't want to spend any more time on it, but I'm an athlete. I've been yelled at. Sometimes it bothered me because the coach didn't have my respect and my rapport and a relationship with me where he could do that. But sometimes when a coach yells at you, it's okay. I know where you're coming from. I know it's because you love me, and it doesn't matter. And in this case, it seemed like the latter, where Tom Izzo yelled at his player, and it wasn't actually a big deal. Someone on the outside made a judgment, and they're not in that relationship. My name is Zach Schomler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports. It is my favorite thing in the entire world. And I want to ask for your help. I want this show to grow. I want more people to watch and more people to listen to this podcast. My dream is to do this show as my full-time job. I want to own it myself. I want to do it on the internet and have complete control. I don't want to do it for CBS or ESPN. I don't want to work for a big network. I want to own it myself. And if you believe in that dream, please do me a huge favor. Help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast. Share it on Facebook, share a link on Twitter, maybe you screenshot it, put it on Instagram. I don't have a marketing strategy beyond this. This is all I have. You know, a lot of people, one of the most common comments I get on YouTube is, you have great content. We love your stuff. You deserve more viewers. What you should do is you should buy ad spaces on Facebook or Twitter or promote yourself and buy revenue, like buy ads. I have no money. I am a broke college kid. I can't buy ad spaces. I don't have money to pay for books. And so my plan, this is my marketing plan, this is my strategy. All I plan to do is put every ounce of effort I have into making the very best podcast I can. I believe if I make a great product that people believe in, that people like, then they will share it with their friends. And so if you agree with that, if you believe in the show, if you like what I do, please do me a huge favor. Tell your friends about it. Help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast.